And I think that's just excellent.
I think you've also got to take into account you've got to feel wanted as a player. To get the best out of any player, you've got to feel as though you belong to the club. If you're a manager or a coach that's just going to throw you out on loan all the time, you don't feel loved anymore. I mean, we've all heard the Isaac Hayden story where he's trying to find a new club. The club are trying to support him, and he said, notoriously, time after time, he's just never felt wanted at Newcastle. And sometimes wherever you go to on loan from that can affect your performance mentally because you feel like a bit part to the jigsaw. So I think what Eddie Howe's done, and as the lads have all rightly said, the amount of players that have been inherited by Eddie Howe from the Steve Bruce era and have achieved a lot higher in performance is twofold. So that can only fall back on two things. One, the player being willing to try and want to learn, and two, having a coach that understands you as a player and respects you as a player. And I think if you can combine the two, you start seeing not just the purple patch as we had with Miggy, but a continued performing player that may not always hit their high notes because we know he's technically not that good. But what you actually get from that, as you saw yesterday, when he dribbled 4 or 5 players yesterday coming from that right side centrally, is a player that's determined to have a go, to run at players. He doesn't hide. Even when he's having a bad game, he won't hide. He'll come back and do another one. I mean, he made a cross yesterday, and like I made a comment, it was like John Smith's advert. Have it. Because it went nowhere apart from, the upper tiers. But I mean, the next ball, he's delivering a good pass. And I think that's what you get with Murphy. He's as bloody frustrating as they come. But when you put the likes of Anthony Gordon and Harvey Barnes on the same platter, and one player, Murphy, is more or less mirroring two of our star players at the moment, then he ain't having a bad season.
I would say as well, I think David T said there about his fitness and his physique and he's strong as an ox. I agree with that in that when I was watching him in 2017 when he first came and Rafa signed him, you could see he was like a fish out of water, and he was 22 or something at the time. And I think you can see that he is a confidence player in that, like you say, Gary, he needs a manager who makes him feel wanted, perhaps more than some other players. And now that he's got that, you're seeing the best out of him. And now that he's kind of physically in the best shape possible, he's adapted, years ago to the rigours of the Premier League since Howe came in, really. And I would say about his crossing as well. I agree. I remember that one that went miles over. That cross that he put in.
One bad ball all day.
It was. But what I like about him is his intent. So he has the intent to whip that ball in, and sometimes it comes off, and sometimes it doesn't. But we've got a player there who whips that ball in first time, like for the goal, puts it in the corridor of uncertainty, and that's one of the reasons why he gets so many assists, because he's willing to do that and he has that intent. And when you combine that with the likes of Barnes and Gordon, who mix it up a bit more, it's a brilliant balance. And we've discussed this a million times, but I just love the way Murphy is a bit of a throwback that way. Right foot, whip it in, into the danger area. And that's one of his skills. And he's harnessed that skill and he's focusing on that skill. And he's not trying to do something he can't do. It's amazing, really, when you look back when he signed, how he's came on now. But like I say, I think he's gradually got better over the last 3 years, and he's been a really good player for us. And I would sign a right winger definitely in the summer.
But Steve, by the way, there's made a really good comment as well. Just come in, he's got better players playing with him as well. Players that can hold on to the ball. It makes your job as a player when you've got the confidence to get the ball and give it and then make a run into space so much easier. And it makes you look good when you've got good players around you.